If you're thinking of taking a Disney Treasure cruise, we share everything we loved and hated about this new ship, from the dining to the entertainment, staterooms, and more, to help you decide if Disney Treasure is right for your next cruise. Up next. Welcome aboard, cruisers. I'm Don B from Eat Sleep Cruise. Now, if you're new to our channel, Heidi and I have been on over 90 cruises and actually sailed recently twice on Disney Treasure, and we're here to give you our honest take on this brand new ship. So let's start one place where Disney Cruise Line's different from almost all other cruise lines, and that's its main dining room. Disney Treasure actually features 3 distinctly unique main dining rooms as part of its rotational dining concept. Each morning, one main dining room is open for breakfast. The offerings here are pretty standard fare. Likewise, most days, one main dining room is open for lunch. During our cruises, this typically was the 1923 dining room. For dinner, like all DCL ships, cruisers are assigned to a set dining time, and there's no flexible dining option. We had the early dinner seating at 5:30 p.m. For our most recent cruise, Davina and Caro were our waitstaff team. They were terrific, friendly, and attentive. On a 7-day itinerary, cruisers rotate through all 3 main dining rooms twice, getting to experience a unique atmosphere and dinner menus. Yes, each dining room has 2 unique menus, so you don't have to eat the same thing twice. The 7th menu is the Pirate Night menu, served across all 3 dining rooms. On Deck 3 midship is the 1923 dining rooms, which pay homage to Roy and Walt Disney, and if you're a Disney fan, you'll recognize that 1923 is actually the year the Disney company was founded. Thus, this dining room consists of hundreds of Disney artifacts from the animation vault in a swanky dining room reminiscent of an early 20th century supper club. This is definitely the most upscale and elegant dining room on the ship. Before you settle in for dinner, you should order a Riverside Old Fashioned. Regardless of what night you dine there, the menus are pretty upscale. Some of our favorites included baked oysters, the tortellini pasta, filet mignon, and lobster tail. We also couldn't pass up the apple pie or the apple cheesecake for dessert. On Deck 4 is the Worlds of Marvel. For us, this was the least appetizing of the 3 main dining rooms. Although the linguine nero is one of the best dishes on the ship. Other standout menu items include starters like the line's signature porcini sacchetti, the chicken schnitzel, and the celebration cake or key lime pie. The Worlds of Marvel is an interactive dining experience. All around the dining room, digital screens come to life with characters from the Marvel universe. There are 2 different shows during a 7-night rotation, and you might even get a selfie with a real-life superhero during dinner. While sister ship Disney Wish has both Worlds of Marvel and 1923, brand new for Disney Treasure is Plaza de Coco. This dinner show features characters and music from the Disney Pixar animated film, Coco. Miguel and his family welcome guests for a lively and colorful celebration in Mariachi Plaza. The second dinner, Dia de los Muertos, is when Miguel reunites with his great-great-grandparents. This restaurant was another one of our favorite additions to the ship. While the theming and decor were great, it doesn't hurt that we enjoy Mexican food too. Of course, both meals start with nacho chips and salsa. From there, we enjoy 3-course meals perfectly paired with mariachi music and other live entertainment on the center stage. Across the 2 nights, we sampled starters like beef empanadas, shrimp diabla, and chorizo croquetas. Modern takes on authentic Mexican classics like polo asada and michoacana carnitas paired well with signature cocktails. For dessert, tres leches and churros were the perfect sweet ending. Also remember that Disney Cruise Line offers free 24-hour room service. Breakfast consists of mostly continental items like fresh fruit, bagels, and cereals. During the day, there are more hearty items like chicken wings and chicken tenders. Of course, we couldn't pass up a few Mickey ice cream bars either. Along with the main dining room, Disney Treasure offers a wide variety of casual dining with some of the best grab-and-go options at sea. Heidi and I couldn't get enough of Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods, which is located on the pool deck. This venue consists of several different booths. There's Donald's Cantina, which mixes up some custom-made tacos, bowls, or salads. However, one ingredient that was definitely missing from this venue were nacho chips. Goofy's Grill is home to your typical Lido deck fare, like hamburgers and hot dogs, but it also serves up irresistible chicken fingers and fries. Additionally, Mickey's Smokestack BBQ offers classics like ribs, roasted chicken, sausages, and pulled pork, with various sauces to choose from. Although Daisy's Pizza was a bit of a letdown, in our opinion, the pizza here ranks below average, especially when compared to other lines like Princess Cruises or Virgin Voyages that have some of the best pizza at sea. Inside, the Marceline Market is Disney Treasure's buffet. The breakfast options include all your typical selections that remain the same throughout the week. We were able to get custom-made omelets with a short wait. Of course, there's also an endless supply of Mickey waffles for kids, and maybe us big kids too, along with other continental and hot breakfast items. At lunch, I couldn't pass up the signature shrimp cocktail and crab legs. These staples of any Disney Cruise Line buffet are available every day. There are also other upgraded seafood options as well, along with more traditional fare, like pre-made salads and international cuisine that varied daily. However, one knock we do have on Disney Treasure is that the Marceline Market was not open for dinner. Thus, guests must go to the main dining room if they want a substantial dinner meal, as only select booths in Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods is open past 6 o'clock at night. While we did love the dining in the main dining room and the casual dining near the pool deck, we weren't really huge fans of the pool deck itself. Disney Treasure features 8 pools scattered throughout the outdoor decks. Most of them are relatively small and often filled with families and little kids. Midship on decks 11 and 12 are the 6 main pools. Of course, they're all named after Disney characters. The Mickey and Minnie pools are the largest, flanking the forward and aft end of deck 11. However, Mickey's pool is often closed as it also doubles as the main stage for outdoor deck parties and shows. Cascading up from the Minnie pool, there are also smaller pools named after Donald, Daisy, Pluto, and Goofy, in addition to additional loungers on deck 12. This outdoor area can get really busy on sunny sea days, so don't be surprised if all the deck chairs are claimed by mid-morning. Now here's a little fun fact. If you stand on the forward end of the deck and look aft, you'll see that the main pools form a hidden Mickey. Guests looking for the quietest family pool should head forward on deck 14. Here, the Chip and Dale pool area features plenty of additional loungers, with some in the shade. The nearby Currents bar isn't too far away either for a daytime drink. Those with little ones will find a friend at the Toy Story splash pad on deck 12 forward. Next to the Splashosaurus Rex water slide and Trixie Falls, this splash pad is tucked away from the main pool deck area. Wheezy's Freezy's is right next door, serving non-alcoholic frozen smoothies, as well as a limited bar, and is one of the places on the ship that you can get Dole Whip. Of course, Dole Whip is an upcharge. Finally, adults can't escape the crowds, and the kids, at the Quiet Cove. All the way aft on deck 13, this is where Heidi and I spent most of our time outdoors, when we could find a seat. The Quiet Cove offers a variety of plush loungers, oversized chairs, a cafe, and a bar. Not to mention, there's an infinity pool overlooking the ship's stern. However, this area is a tad small for a ship of its size, especially when compared to Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy. Those ships' Quiet Cove are located more forward and on several decks, giving adults more space to escape from the kids. While Disney Treasure is geared toward families and kids, there's not as many outdoor activities as you would expect, like a basketball court or a mini golf course that are found on other ships in the fleet. Instead, Deck 13 is home to the main sports area, named the Hero Zone. This indoor complex has a full-size basketball court with a variety of open play and competitions scheduled throughout the cruise. There are also air hockey tables, foosball tables, and cornhole to use free of charge. Within this indoor sports area, the big draw is the Incredigames Challenge course. If you are unfamiliar with this inflatable challenge, the Incredigames is an obstacle course where 2 athletes go head-to-head to see who can make it up, down, and through several challenges the fastest. The event happens several times during a week-long cruise. so check the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app for dates and times during your sailing. Of course, there's also the Aqua Mouse, Curse of the Golden Egg, towering above the pool deck. This water raft ride is complimentary, and it's a lot of fun. I donned my bathing suit and hopped on the 760-foot long attraction, which puts guests in the middle of a Mickey and Minnie animated adventure. The ride is open to all guests who are at least 42 inches or taller. Just time your ride right so you're not stuck in a long line. Finally, the Senses Fitness Center is on Deck 5, all the way forward. It offers various workout equipment, cardio machines, and free weights. There's also a cycle room and fitness classes, which are an upcharge. Disappointingly, the ship does not have a dedicated walking or jogging track, though many do use the outdoor promenade, which starts on Deck 4 and ascends to Deck 5 and 6 to get in a morning walk. Just keep in mind, you do have to walk up several flights of stairs to access this outdoor promenade, and it did not go all the way around the ship. Now, if you're thinking of taking a Disney cruise, odds are you're somewhat a fan of Disney. Now, if you don't like Disney at all, honestly, no Disney cruise ship will be right for you. But for us, Disney Treasure was designed for Disney experts and casual fans alike, with a variety of themed activities. We held our own in some competitions, like the Beauty and the Beast trivia, but I certainly did not measure up to the real Jedi Masters in the Star Wars themed sessions. Games like Majority Rules, along with a variety of other cruise activities, took place in the Sarabi Lounge. In fact, one of the most fun events was the ship's take on Hollywood Squares, which featured the Disney villains. But there are other cruiser events like Silent Disco, Match Your Mate, and other adult-only activities which take place in the evening in the Sarabi Lounge. There are also family events, including family karaoke, with most of those events occurring in the next-door Triton Lounge. In addition to game shows and trivia, guests could also learn to draw Disney characters, or create their own keepsakes at the art classes. Perhaps a highlight of the Disney Treasure Cruise were the various events hosted by the ship storytellers, Sage and Coriander. These included Choose Wisely, an Indiana Jones-themed comedy adventure, the Jungle Cruise interactive adventure, and a hilarious retelling of Disney's Aladdin. We thought this duo was a great addition to the Disney entertainment lineup. Of course, Disney Treasure had many character meet and greet opportunities at all times throughout the day. From classic Disney pals to the princesses, guests could grab pictures with all of their favorites. There's Minnie in her new adventurer outfit, Captain Mickey, Captain Hook on Pirates Night, and some characters even don their own formal attire on dress-up night. Not to mention there's also dance parties, deck parties, and other fun events featuring Disney's Fab Five. Additionally, Disney Treasure hosts other signature events like Tink's Neverland Challenge in the Hero Zone, the always fun Jack Jack's Diaper Dash, which basically consists of parents racing their non-walking children, but don't worry, you're not allowed to bet on the contestants, at least officially. There's also the upbeat Let's Set Sail Sail Away party, and the iconic Pirate Night. Only on Disney Cruise Line can guests don their finest pirate attire and rock out to the Pirates of the Caribbean deck party and Pirates Rock and Parlay party, complete with fireworks. Of course, there are other sign-up activities as well. These include liquor tastings, the Senses Spa's Rainforest Room, which is essentially the ship's thermal suite, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique for kids, the Untangled Salon, and Hook's Barbery for hair and nail services, and bingo, among others. Thus, there is never a dull moment on Disney Treasure. No one tells a story like Disney. In fact, from the moment you step into the Grand Hall, Disney Treasure takes guests on a cruise adventure. The theming in the public spaces, like the 3-story atrium, transports guests to a whole new world. Huh, see what I did there? However, it's the main theater entertainment that will test how far you'll go. In the Walt Disney Theater, guests are treated to 3 unique Disney production shows. In Seize the Adventure, we settled in for a voyage with Captain Minnie, First Mate Goofy, and the rest of the crew for a welcome aboard type review show. With popular Disney songs from the likes of Elsa, Tiana, and Hercules, you and your kids are sure to love it. New for Disney Treasure is A Tale of Moana, featuring a cast of performers from the South Pacific. This modified retelling of the Disney animated film should not be missed. In fact, we watched it twice as it was that entertaining. Featuring all the high notes from the film, with some theater magic and an elaborate stage set, it's as heartwarming as the original. This is the most popular show on the ship, so don't be surprised if guests line up an hour or more in advance to ensure they get a seat when the theater doors open. Equally entertaining is Disney's Beauty and the Beast. This tale as old as time includes elements of the 1990s animated classic with the live-action film remake from the 2000s. With a talented cast of performers and elaborate costumes and props, you can't help falling in love with this production. During a 7-night cruise, each of these productions typically has 3 showtimes, 2 evening shows, and a matinee on a different day. The main theater might also run first-run movies or headliner acts on other nights. Just check that Disney Cruise Line app for showtimes. During our sailing, we got to watch Mufasa, as well as 2 headliners, a magician and a ventriloquist. Further, there are 2 intimate cinemas showing first-run Disney movies as well as Disney classics, the Neverland Cinema and Wonderland Cinema. So we caught a screening of Moana 2 on board while it was still in the theater. While the movies are free, the popcorn next door will cost you extra. However, pro tip, you can score discounted popcorn refills if you have a Disney Parks refillable bucket, or you can purchase a refillable bucket while on the ship. If purchased outright, the popcorn will cost you $4, but it's only $1.75 for a refill if you have one of these buckets. While we loved the entertainment and the onboard activities, the one thing we didn't like were the lines and crowds. Admittedly, the lines aren't as bad as the summer in Walt Disney theme parks, but individuals line up early for many of the signature events. As we already mentioned, the line to go see The Tale of Moana stretched all the way down the ship, and even though we were there a half hour early to see the production, we were some of the last individuals to get a seat. Likewise, guests line up early for coveted character meet and greets, especially when the characters are wearing special outfits. With the rotational dining, you will also find long queues and lines to enter the dining room, regardless of what time you dine. Individuals sometimes line up again 15 to 20 minutes before dinner, which to us makes no sense because you have an assigned table and you sit in the same spot every time you visit a certain restaurant. Don't be surprised if you exit dinner or head down to the Grand Hall and see it mobbed with families, whether they're taking pictures at the photo studios or waiting to get into dinner, or perhaps waiting for a show. It can get quite busy. So like any megaship, you need to plan ahead. Review the cruise line app to see what activities that you want to participate in, and make sure to show up at least 15 or 20 minutes early, as even some of those cruiser competitions become standing room only quickly. As we do on all cruises, we visited all the ship's bars and lounges. It might actually surprise those who have never sailed on a Disney Cruise Line ship to find out that there are quite a few bars. While the drinks are certainly for grown-ups, the venues are themed for Disney fans of all ages, and the theming in some of them is very elaborate. While the bars' locations are identical to those on Disney Wish, a few key lounges have been rethemed, and we think for the better. Perhaps our favorite was the Haunted Mansion parlor on Deck 3. Now, foolish mortals can unwind with some spirits in this one-of-a-kind lounge. Oh, and there are some drinks there too. With signature cocktails, exclusive beer, and sodas, this venue offers some of the most unique libations with a side of happy haunts. Even if you're not a fan of the classic Disney attraction, the Haunted Mansion parlor draws guests in with its immaculate attention to detail, ornate decor, and interactive elements, like singing portraits and playful spooks on the digital screens. Don't pass up concoctions like the Chilling Challenge, the Happily Never After, and the Regions Beyond. Equally fun for theme park fans is the Skipper Society. Taking comical nods from the Jungle Cruise attraction, this bar offers a signature cocktail menu and immersive decor, home to trivia contests, arts and crafts sessions, and live music at night. The Skipper Society wears many hats throughout the day. While taking a trip downriver, you'll want to order a salted caramel teeny, the Safari So Good, and the Skipper Sipper drinks. Perhaps the least themed new space is the Scat Cat Lounge. This piano bar pays homage to the Disney animated classic, the Aristocats, with more subtle nods found in the wallpaper and decor. While the piano music was subdued, we liked the signature cocktail menu. Among our favorites was the grape jam cocktail, made with peanut butter whiskey. You can also sip perfect teenies, like the creme de la creme and the française. Another intricately themed new venue is the Periscope Pub. Inspired by the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea attraction, this nautical pub is home to its own craft beers. It's also the ship's resident sports pub, with several large televisions to catch a game. Not to mention, the venue offers bar bites for an upcharge, like chicken wings, burgers, German pretzels, and more. However, we feel the venue could use some live music, like maybe a pub guitarist in the evenings. Disney Treasure also has 2 cafes serving signature coffees and cold brew infused cocktails, like the Hey Hey Cafe and the Jade Cricket Cafe. The ship even has a speakeasy. At certain times of the day, Hoke's Barbary opens up as a gentleman's parlor, making customized old-fashioned cocktails. Aft on Deck 12 is The Rose. This upscale bar is the perfect place for a pre-dinner or after-dinner cocktail for adults dining at one of the 2 specialty restaurants on the ship. On the pool decks, there's also 2 small pool bars and the Lookout Bar. The Cove Bar is aft on Deck 13, and the Currents Bar is forward on Deck 14. These bars serve a similar menu with distinct cocktails, including the Strawberry Basil Pop Spritz, made with popsicles. While many of the bars are elaborately themed, and the menus feature signature cocktails that are delicious, the one thing we don't love about Disney Treasure is that it does not offer a drink package. So even though we're not big drinkers, we easily racked up a bar tab of over $1,000 over the course of a week. This included both non-alcoholic specialty coffees and drinks, as well as alcoholic drinks. Disney Cruise Line does include premium non-alcoholic beverages, such as soda, some flavors of vitamin water, as well as drinks like lemonade and iced tea in their main dining rooms and on the pool deck. And while they do offer some discounts, like buy 5 beers and get 1 for free, there are typically no promotions when it comes to glasses of wine or cocktails. So make sure to budget appropriately if you plan on visiting all the bars like we did. While there are various complimentary dining options, there are also a couple upcharge eateries on Disney Treasure. And to be honest, we both loved and hated the specialty dining, which we're going to get to in a minute. But if you're interested in dining at either one of these locations and taking a break from the kids, we highly recommend making reservations pre-cruise. The 2 adult-only specialty restaurants are on Deck 12. Both restaurants are themed around Disney's Beauty and the Beast. There's Enchante, serving fine French cuisine from the charming Maitre d' Luminaire. There's the Palo Steakhouse, which is themed after the Beast's loyal butler, Cogsworth. We dined at both restaurants to ensure we ate everything on the cruise ship. Palo Steakhouse is a cruise line evolution of the Palo Italian Eatery on other Disney Cruise Line ships. This restaurant offers the best of both worlds. The menu boasts Italian classics like fried calamari, freshly made pasta, pizzas, and more. Steak lovers will want to carve up one of the choice or prime selections along with some sides. I opted for the 4-course Prizo Fiso, a great value at only $50 for dinner. Heidi ordered a la carte. On select days, Palo also serves brunch. This multi-course menu offers a little bit of everything for a flat fee. We did our best to work through the menu during a sea day. It was a feast, from omelets to antipasta and pizza to entrees like chicken parmesan and lasagna. Of course, there's dessert as well. While we love Palo for both brunch and dinner, we didn't love the other restaurant, Enchante. Again, the restaurant offers an a la carte option or several tasting menus. With a seasonal menu curated by a 3-star Michelin chef, we expanded our palates one night of the cruise. I tested the passion menu, and again, because Heidi's a picky eater, she went with some a la carte options. While the service was superb and the setting was elegant and refined, for us, the food did not justify the hefty price tag. If we were to dine at Enchante again, we would stick with an entree, the cheese course, and dessert. In addition to these 2 specialty restaurants, guests can grab pub fare at the Periscope Pub. The a la carte menu offers tasty bites priced from $8 to $16. This was a popular spot on our cruise during the football playoffs. There's also the Jumbo Sweets Confectionery. Yes, there is free soft serve ice cream at Minnie's Delights, but those with a sweet tooth might be tempted to try one of the 30 plus flavors of ice cream and gelato, cupcakes, cookies, candies, and other confectionaries you can find at Jumbo Sweets. But in our experience, we recommend skipping the frozen treats and opting for something else, like the poor shortbread sandwich, an elevated take on Nick Wilde's Paw Pascal. Disney Cruise Line offers some of the largest staterooms at sea. However, we are accustomed to staying in a deluxe family veranda stateroom on DCL ships. For our week-long cruise, we booked a guaranteed veranda cabin, and were assigned a deluxe veranda stateroom, cabin 7194. This Deck 7 stateroom was almost fully aft on the ship's port side and featured Aladdin theming. According to the Disney Cruise Line website, this 7A category stateroom measured approximately 200 square feet, not missing any details, along with the art in the cabin. The carpet in the hallway also coordinated with the 1992 classic film. As further guidance for guests, the signature beetle and hidden Mickeys in the carpet are facing forward. This design element assists guests in figuring out which way to walk when returning back home in the evenings. Upon entering our stateroom, the split bathrooms were to our right, with the closets to our left. The queen-size bed was on the midship wall facing aft. Beyond the bed were the sofa, desk, and balcony. Having stayed in a deluxe family veranda stateroom on this class of ship, the size difference was noticeable. In fact, for a 7-night cruise, we had just enough storage space in this cabin for all of our clothes and gear. Still, compared to other contemporary cruise lines, the room was certainly on par with the capacity and finishes. Like most staterooms on Disney Cruise Line ships, our cabin featured 2 bathrooms. This split bathroom design makes it easy for families to get ready in the morning. With a separate shower and sink, and then a toilet and sink setup, multiple family members can use the facilities at the same time. Even though we are just a couple, this setup definitely came in handy when preparing to go ashore in the mornings. The sofa was adequately sized, and the desk featured plenty of shelves and drawers. Although the closets were a bit on the narrow side. One closet featured a small clothes bar and only a few shelves, while the other featured a full clothes bar. This limited our ability to stow away shoes and our packing cubes with undergarments and the like. Another big difference between our 2 Disney Treasure cabins was the balcony. Most balcony cabins on the ship measure approximately 43 square feet. Ours was noticeably smaller. This stateroom was the last accommodations before an aft-facing stateroom, so our balcony was curved and narrow at one end. It had just barely enough space for our chairs and table. Now, the split bathroom setup in Disney Cruise Line staterooms is just one way the cruise line is different than contemporary cruise lines. In fact, Disney Cruise Line is actually one of the more expensive cruise lines catering to families. So before you go ahead and book your next cruise, you're going to want to check out our video detailing what's included on a Disney cruise, plus what will cost you extra. That way, you'll know exactly how much to budget for your Disney Cruise Line voyage, and your next cruise will be smooth sailing.